Hey guys, welcome back to BNCRC yet again. This is approximately 2.5 minutes after the last video I just did. Got another unboxing. I picked this up at our local hobby shop. Actually, not our local hobby shop. I picked it up at Hackfab Hobbies. I went up to see my buddy Kevin there, see what he's got going on, and felt obligated to buy something because I always do when I go to his shop, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so I got basically the cheapest car he had in stock. Current price from Horizon is $199.99 on this truck. The Arrma Granite Boost. That is the brushed two-wheel drive, meant to be converted into four-wheel drive and brushless as you grow with your hobby. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. It's supposed to be the orange one. I have not seen one of these in person. My buddy Tom was here several weeks ago with the Vortex Boost, and I really liked the looks of that truck and the construction of it. I kind of wanted to get one, but he got the red one, and that was the one I wanted. And I don't know, I decided not to get the same rig as him, so I went with the Granite version. Now, I've already seen a little bit of video reviews on these things, and the hobby shop itself, and Tom also told me that his Vortex drove like absolute garbage in two-wheel drive. And from what I've seen, there is a cure for them driving like absolute garbage. And I think RC Driver, the Oriental guy that does pretty thorough reviews on stuff, he figured out a cure that I don't think I'm going to use. But I'll get into that in a minute. Let's just talk about what's in the fucking box. Okay, that ain't a bad looking truck. A Spectrum SLT2, the itty bitty radio with no bass, so you can't stand up. You gotta lay it down. I kind of don't like that radio. It's functional, it works, it has a 50, 75, 100% settings on the back, so you can destroy it at half the normal speed. Where the fuck's the on off button on that thing? Huh. Oh, there it is. That's right. I don't like the button on that. It's the same thing as the low-C drag cars came with. Uh-oh. I'll have to be careful. I still got one laying here from my extra low-C drag car that I never did anything with. It does come with the double A's for that. Comes with some very strange-looking tool that I've never seen before. Let's get this out of the way. Nobody tunes into this video to look at a truck, right? Okay. Nice thick Arrma manual, like normal. And some extra stuff. Technical pack. That must be the thing to sell you the four-wheel drive upgrade, which is like $40. And their brushless upgrade, which is, I want to say $150. So by the time you get done doing those two upgrades, you might better just buy the Granite BLX or whatever they call it, 3S version, and be done with it. I'm not looking at the manual. I don't give a shit what the manual is. There's your double A's. Oh, and they send you support and upgrades, a card with QR codes on it. Nice. Gotta love the technology. That is quite the interesting looking tool the Arrma rig comes with. Shot tool, lug wrench. Kind of looks like a little gun. Some shock spacers, some Allen wrenches, everything you need if this is your first car to get you started, make you able to work on the sumbitch. I'm assuming this is a crappy wall charger. Not positive about that, but I'm thinking it's a crappy wall charger. Yep. Huh. Little USB charger. Neat looking little thing. I never use them because I don't have all day to wait for a battery to charge up in an entry-level rig. I'll just charge up a battery and let it rip. But it'll work if you got nothing else. Okay, let's see what this truck is about. The body looks good. The rear suspension is pretty stiff. Nice protective film there. Arrma, as usual, puts tethers on the clips. Really like that part. They just feel like a good quality rig from these guys. Everything I've done to them. It makes a really good first impression when you're taking it off the first time. Pretty good looking body. I don't hate the orange. Tires feel pretty grippy. I haven't had a Granite in a long time. I got the first one when they had aluminum vertical plate chassis. And I think I got one of the newer ones with the plastic chassis. I don't even remember for sure. I have to look. I'm getting old. I forget shit. You gotta forgive me. Oh, it's got a little clip to hold your battery wires. It's kind of a pain in the ass and abusive to the wires a little bit. It's a 7-cell hump pack. Ain't seen one of them in a while. 3,300 milliamp hour. That'll run you a little while. That goddamn all-in-one speed control receiver thing. I really hate that. I like Traxxas with the new BL2S thing. They're putting brushless systems in, still have a separate receiver, and everyone else is going to this fucking combination unit. I don't like them. And by one of the other reviews I've seen, that is one thing you really want to upgrade on this truck. It'll go a lot faster with a standalone speed control and your chosen receiver in there. And then you have an excuse to get rid of this fucking thing. Not that that's terrible. It doesn't scream quality. I don't know. I just don't like them. 12-turn brush motor. Big beefy shocks with a ton of spacer in there. There's like a 1-inch spacer built into the rear shocks. And 3/8 of an inch spacer on the front shocks. Plus there's a couple of snap-in extra spacers. Pretty stiff. The front's got shock guards on it. It is designed to be an all-wheel drive, and it comes 2-wheel drive. The axles look really beefy. The drive shafts, I guess we'll call them. They're plastic, but the ends of them, they might be plastic too, but they're really beefy. They look a lot beefier than 2-cell Traxxas stuff. There's a little nub there where you mount your drive shaft to add the 4-wheel drive at a later point. They say that these things handle like absolute garbage. And the reason that the guy at RC Driver Online came up with is because every 2-wheel drive, basically ever, has had the motor back here behind the axles, behind the back end, and it gives you a little better traction. And with this car, with it being the basic design is meant to be all-wheel drive, all the electronics are in front of the rear suspension. It really hurts the traction when you're rear-wheel drive only. His solution was to hang a couple of big brass weights off the back end, look like a fucking big shiny nutsack, but he put weight that kind of equal to the weight of a motor, and he said the truck came to life and worked much better. It was a hell of a lot of fun to run. Maybe I'll do something like that. I'm not going to have a brass nutsack hanging off the back of my truck, but I'll stick on some lead weight or figure out something to do back there if I think that'll help. I'm not in a big hurry to switch it to 4-wheel drive. I think this truck would be more fun if I can get it to work right as a 2-wheel drive. Maybe I'll swap out the speed control and do that too. I'll run it the way it is out of the box at first. Obviously, that's what I always do before I start fucking with it. But I got so much going on, maybe I'll fuck with it. Maybe I'll just run it a couple times and be done with it. Don't know. Pretty good looking truck. There's a lot of protection from debris and stuff around that. That's kind of nice. I like the higher sides. When I first looked at it with the body on it, it looked kind of toyish to me. I don't like how much of the chassis you can see under the body. I was like, what the fuck? It kind of put me in mind of the Voltage series that had kind of an in-between toy and hobby grade chassis. They were hobby grade, but they looked a little toyish. When I first took this out of the box, I was thinking the same thing, but I see most of that now is just mudguard, basically. That chassis is pretty low for a 2-wheel drive monster truck. That's probably going to help the handling exponentially. It won't flip over quite as much. Wheelbase is a little bit longer than a Stampede, so the handling should be pretty good once I figure out some traction. The tires feel like they ought to work. We'll see what they do. Maybe this will be my first running video when I can actually get out on that track if it ever stops raining for 5 fucking minutes so it dries out enough so I don't have to muddy shit up my truck again like I did that Traxxas Slash I did the other day. That's all I got for right now. I will be back with another video to show you that associated TC3 deal I just picked up. Over and out. I gotta go to work pretty shortly here anyway.